oh no, I need help. I use heroin. So you need to be honest with me. How often are you using heroin? And it's not occasionally. I know that much. Why was that so hard to tell me? Court is calling 2021 CR 8727, State of Texas versus Esmeralda Valdez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state. Your Honor.
Defense.
John Coons from Ms. Valdez, and I'm standing in for Ms. Enriquez.
All right. Any objection to this attorney standing in for Ms. Enriquez?
No.
All right. You're going to need to speak up.
No.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
All right. So here's the thing. You're going to have to speak up. If you cannot speak up where I can hear you and the court reporter can hear you, then I will send you back. And then once you're able to speak up, we will bring you back. Do you understand?
Yes.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review this with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are y'all proceeding on both counts or just count one? Count one only, is that correct? Or count two? Count two?
I believe we were doing both, Judge, because they're different substances.
I looked at the waiver and steps and it had both counts in it, Judge. What is it?
Oh, it just says punishment says be assessed at 2 years. It doesn't say if you're.
Both counts.
I believe it's both counts because count one is the heroin and count two is in that.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Ms. Valdez, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand in count one, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. And in count two, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. Both of those counts are third-degree felonies. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, we do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Valdez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison on count one and count two. There's a $500 fine. There's to be restitution of $57 to SAPD for drug testing. All right, off the record. So guys, on this one, y'all didn't put in here that it's for probation. Is it recommended probation
It's
or
a
not?
recommendation.
All right, if you all could write in there that y'all are recommending probation, if both of you assign it, and also if you put in there that you're pleading to counts one and count two. According to the plea bargain agreement, you're to plead, well, the state is proceeding on count one and count two. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $500 fine. There's restitution of $57 to SAPD for drug testing, regular UA, sober support meetings, and the state recommends probation. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
I have not.
Outside the plea bargaining agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand that was a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes.
Then to count one, how do you plead?
No, no contest.
And count two, how do you plead?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Your Honor, I submit State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
We've reviewed them and have no objections, Your Honor.
Showing you was entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty as charged in count 1 and count 2. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We would request that today. Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we would request that you follow the plea bargain. This is slightly unusual in that this is not a deferred offer, but my client had conferred with Ms. Enriquez yesterday and decided that she didn't want to apply for deferred. So we would request that you give her the 2 years probated for 3 and run those counts concurrently.
All right. If you're released today, where would you be living? And with who, I should say?
My mother.
Does your mother want you staying with her?
Yes.
Did you ask her, or are you just assuming because she's your mother, she wants you to stay with her?
No, I asked.
All right. When's the last time you asked?
I spoke to her before I came in to jail.
All right. What's your drug of choice and how often are you using?
No.
Huh?
Yeah,
Heroin? How often are you using heroin? I'm sorry?
occasionally.
No, you're doing more than occasionally if you're going into places and taking people's things. How often are you using heroin? Here's the thing. I'm trying to consider not one, whether I'm going to follow this plea bargain agreement. Two, I'm trying to consider what would be best for you. Now, it appears that you agreed to your underlying sentence being 2 years. If you just want to go for prison for 2 years, I will send you today to prison for 2 years. But otherwise, you need to be honest with me, because if you're not, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you out. I'm going to follow this plea bargain agreement, send you out to the free world and have you call the UA hotline. And at some point in time, you're going to get caught for using heroin. And then you know what's going to end up happening? They're going to file a motion to revoke and you're going to be right back at jail. And you're going to come back to me. And then you're going to say, oh, no, I need help. I use heroin. So you need to be honest with me. How often are you using heroin? And it's not occasionally. I know that much.
Then
Why was that so hard to tell me? I'm sorry.
Are you embarrassed?
yes,
All right. Well, here's the thing. We are all on a journey, hopefully, of improving our lives. Where we are now is hopefully not where we will end in our growth. So hopefully today, maybe today will be the worst day that you can have. And maybe from here on out, you'll make changes to improve yourself and you won't be back. You won't be using heroin again. You understand?
yes.
How many children do you have?
And then
How far did you go in school?
10,
Why did you drop out?
attendance,
I'm sorry, what?
attendance. My mom took me out
Why would your mom take you out of school?
because she had a problem. I was not going, was skipping.
Were you struggling with drugs already at that point?
No,
All right, I don't think her mother is the person for her to be living with this. If you have a mother who's going to take somebody out of school at 10th grade. Have you ever had employment?
Yes.
Doing what?
Lived in 7-Eleven,
How old are you?
27.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. I'm sorry, before I do that, any other questions, Mr. Kuntz?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'm going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's going to be a TAP evaluation while in custody. Follow all TAP recommendations.
Do we know how long it's taking for the TAC evaluations?
How long?
1 to 2.
Okay.
All right, $57 restitution to SAPD. There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And I know you all were recommending sober support meetings 2 times a week. That's your agreement. But I think she needs more than that. So I have not followed your agreement with regards to the sober meetings. Is there going to be an objection?
No, Judge, and just for the record, I've explained to my client about with regard to the restitution and the fine and the court costs and things, that the most important thing for you is to make sure she shows up where she's supposed to show up, when she's supposed to show up. Even if she's running low on money and can't necessarily afford the probationary fees or anything like that, as long as she shows up and tries to stay in compliance with everything else, that she should be okay with you.
Yes. We're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. $500 fine will be probated, proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. Those hours will be waived if you obtain your GED or if you obtain some sort of trade certificate or something that can make yourself better in place to get employment. You understand?
Yes.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Yes. So you're going to either have to obtain your GED or complete some sort of trade school. But once you do that, your community service hours will be waived. You understand?
Yes.
But regardless, you have to complete it.
Yes.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, can we go off the record? All right, what are the tattoos about?
My miscarriage,
No, I'm sorry.
my ex-relationship is passing.
All right, and on the other arm?
This is a clean card.
All right, is there any gang affiliation involved with you?
No.
Any gang affiliation involved with in your past relationships
No.
with the people you were dating?
No.
All right, so probation, if you can make sure you look into that. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court?
No.
All right, in this court, communication is key to be successful on probation. If there's an issue or something that's going wrong in your life and you need some help with it, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing the issue, you can always come to court and let me know and we'll see what's going on.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, what's the update on next door? Oh, no problem.
We're checking with our investigator right now on that search. We were able to get the probation conditions already in the weekend.
All right. And so is your investigator just walking next door to grab the papers from the prosecutor? Or are they doing something else?
That is what
All right. Tell him all he has to do is go right next door to 306, 307. This, I'm going on the government site.
we will be calling.
All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 3681, State of Texas versus Damian Xerxes Huff. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Thanks to the state of Texas.
defense?
For the defense.
And are you Mr. Huff? Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client? Counsel, have you
Yes,
received
I
all
have.
the discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is this an application for regular or deferred?
Deferred, Your
All right. Mr. Huff, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled true bill of an indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We waive, Your
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, the state would be proceeding on paragraph A and waiving paragraph.
Any objection?
Honor. None whatsoever.
Showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Your Honor.
Did you understand you're being charged with the offense of burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes,
Did you intend to give up those rights in entering a plea in this case?
yes,
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked? Court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison?
yes.
Did counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Mr. Both.
Mr. Huff, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you're gonna have to start speaking up. Your voice is trailing off.
sorry, yes, yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking consideration JN 2108501. And there's to be no contact with Jonathan Escobar and Ashley Barron, BARRON. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Defense,
Your
is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Is there an affirmative finding in this case or no?
Don't believe so. If it's not in the paperwork, then.
All right, Mr. Huff, if the court reads the stipulations in this case and I determine that this should be an affirmative finding of family violence, I will find an affirmative finding of family violence. Do you understand?
Yes,
And let me tell you the consequences of that. If I find that there's an affirmative finding of family violence, two of the consequences is you will not be allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
yes,
The other consequences would be that you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent. Do you understand?
yes.
All right, then did you understand?
In regards to the no contact order, Mr. Huff did inform me that the complainant reached out to him last night by text. He did not respond, but she is maintained, I don't know for what reason.
Okay.
But just want the court to be aware that she is reaching out to him, but I've advised him not to contact her or to respond.
All right. Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your
Defense,
Honor.
is that the plea?
It is your. Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
None.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation following those recommendations and anger management. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, count 1, paragraph A, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence
State represents Exhibit 1.
No objection side.
showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Mr. Huff, you seem sort of hesitant. Is this an agreement that you wish to go with? Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily? Do you want to enter this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're sure?
Yeah.
And you wish to proceed with this case and solve this case in a plea agreement?
Yes.
Okay. All right, are you,
If it satisfies the court, I've asked Mr. Huff that several times and we've discussed everything. To be sure that this is what he wants to do, because I too had the same concerns about his hesitance, but I do believe that this is his desire.
all right, are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a line cook. All right, cook.
Where do you cook at?
La Fonda on Main Street.
All right, do you have any children?
No. Yeah.
All right. Do you live with anyone else?
No, just currently staying with my mother or my sister.
Okay. All right. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Alcohol.
All right. You can't drink alcohol while you're on probation. It's not allowed. You understand? And alcohol is what got you here today.
It is.
So you're going to have to stop drinking.
That's. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court is going to send, everyone needs to whisper. Court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, taking consideration JN number 210851. There's to be no contact with Jonathan Escobar and Ashley Barron. There's to be anger management classes. We're going to do supportive outpatient treatment with him. And we'll do the 90 meetings in 90 days. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular UAs, make sure there's testing for alcohol. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Field visit one time for 1 month, and if everything is okay, that can be discontinued. And that probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor. In order for him to do the support of outreach, we will need a TAP.
All right, we'll do a TAP evaluation. And of course, regardless of what TAP says, we're going to start with supportive outpatient treatment. So if it asks for inpatient treatment, that's where we'll begin. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I would just hope the only thing is, I can curb my alcoholism. I think I'll be on my way to being a better person.
Okay, all right, you're going to have to stay vigilant. and it's probably best for you. I know your mom loves you. I know your sister loves you. Tell them don't have you around any alcohol, okay? And Vashawn, can you add that he is not to work at any location where alcohol is the main source of revenue? So that means that you can't work at bars, ice houses, or anything of that nature. Where you're currently working, that's fine. Or if you work at a restaurant, that's fine. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, we can go off the record. I understand that when people are in relationships and they go bad, and maybe it's a bad breakup, and maybe you think that person was dishonest with you, and then you show up unexpected like you did here, and you see another guy on the scene, and you think in the back of your mind, well, maybe that person was cheating on me all along. Here's the thing. How old are you?
28,
And how long have you been in a relationship with this person?
5, 6 years.
So you've been on the planet longer than you've been in a relationship with that person. When you feel as though someone may be cheating on you, or if you feel that someone is not treating you right, you have two choices. First choice, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to let them treat me this way. Second choice, I'm done. Cut them loose. Call it a day. And if you're in a healthy place in your life, you know what your choice should always be? I deserve better than this. I'm done. Goodbye. Good luck to you. Now, your attorney is telling me that this person is contacting you. So maybe this person has decided, I want you back. You need to remember that that is not a healthy relationship for you. And you also need to remember that I just told you, you can't have contact with that person. You understand? So if you need to change your number, then change your number. All right, good luck to you. Is calling 2023 CR 0685 and 2023 CR 0528, State of Texas versus Jose Angel Diaz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Carl Alexander for Mr. Diaz.
And are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each cause number, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I've received everything to the best of my knowledge. Judge, we have discussed it.
Court will find in each cause number that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications on these cases? All right, probation, there's no application. In each cause number showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, in cause number 2023 CR 0685, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state would make a motion to proceed only on count 2. Furthermore, reduce that count to ABI family class A misdemeanor. And also waive and abandon any habitual enhancements in that case.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
And state, in cause number 2023 CR 0528, are you proceeding on that indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, in that case, the state will be proceeding on a reduction to the ABI family misdemeanor and also waiving any habitual enhancements.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand in each cause number, the state has proceeded on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family or household? That's a class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is it's up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Okay.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor. To that issue, Mr. Diaz was evaluated for competency and there was a judicial determination that he is competent to swim in trial.
Mr. Diaz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, no, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each cause number, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea in each cause number, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family, and household. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. There are no applications. The cause numbers will run concurrently. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Of course, you'll receive credit for any time served. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
Yes, sir.
In each paragraph, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No evidentiary.
Then to the offense as charged in each, the lesser included offense is charged in each case. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State for State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments in both cases.
We've reviewed both, Your Honor. We have no objections.
In each cause number, did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments. After reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty in each cause number, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor. Just ask her to follow the plea bargain.
In each cause number, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Each cause number will run concurrently. And each cause number, there is an affirmative finding of family violence. In each cause number, I give you credit for in any time served. And in each cause number, there's to be no contact with Briselda, Briselda Villarreal. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
The state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense.
In each cause number, I'll show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
According, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because there's an affirmative finding of family violence in each cause number, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. I read in the police report that the complainant called the police to come out, and then the complainant says, no, I don't want to continue with prosecution. Here's the thing. If you love her, do you love her?
Yes. Enough to just say, you know what?
Oh, no. Obviously, you don't love her, right? If you do, it's selfish. And the reason why I say that is because you do not put your hands on someone in anger if you claim to love them. So I've told you no contact with her. That means that relationship is over. And if she still wants to have a relationship with you, you need to say no. And you need to work on your anger issues. Get an orchid. When you get an orchid from one of the grocery stores, they already have blooms on them and they're beautiful. Keep that orchid. When all those blooms fall off, if you can get that orchid to bloom, you may be ready for a relationship. I say that because orchids take patience, and no matter what instructions or directions they give you on there, they do not work. You understand? Good luck to you. Thank you. God bless you too. All right, we're going to do the. Hello. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Sylvia Martinez Lopez.
All right. Now, I understand that you are on probation, so no one is going to ask you anything that will put you in any type of legal jeopardy. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I want to make something clear to you, and I want you to listen to me very clearly, and that's why I wanted you in here, and it's on the record. So with regards to any CPS case you have open, this is going to be on the record, and anybody will be able to get it. Do you understand?
Yes.
This gentleman over here to my right, Mr. Reyes, you are not to have any contact with him. Do you understand?
Yes.
He is not to have any contact with the complainant in this case, which is your child. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, I've read the police reports, and I know in the police report, you put in there, oh, I barely knew him. You and I both know that's not true. You are not to have contact with him. If he ends up at your house, whether he shows up on his own, if he does, you need to call the police. Or if he shows up because you've invited him into your house, Child Protective Services is going to know about it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your child?
11.
How many children do you have?
4.
What are their ages?
18, 17, 16.
Do they all live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And Child Protective Services is in your life, right?
No, ma'am.
They're going to be in your life if you don't get your act together.
Yes.
And I know they were in your life previously.
Yes, ma'am.
I get so many parents when I was a defense attorney. You know what they would tell me when I would represent them in their CPS cases? They say, I'll walk through fire for my children. And you know what I would tell them? You don't need to walk through fire for your children. Nobody's asking you to do that. But what you have to do is you cannot be bringing people in their lives who should not be in their life.
Yes, ma'am.
People with criminal histories shouldn't be in your children's life because you're trying to set an example for them. And you know what they would tell me every time? Okay, Stephanie, I'll do what you say. I'm not going to get a new boyfriend. I'm not going to get pregnant during the pendency of this case because I want my children back, and I'll do whatever I can to get my children back. And guess what they did? I would get their children back for them. You'd have this probationary period with CPS where they're still in your life. Next thing I know, I'm getting a call from the caseworker. And you know what they're telling me? Stephanie, your client is pregnant and she's moved some guy in here that she's met at the club on Friday and they don't leave. So, do you understand my instructions?
Yes, ma'am.
And I've read the police report, and the police report, it states that you said that your child did not suffer any major injury. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is your child doing now?
He's doing good.
All right. And why are you letting them play this stupid game where they're putting talcum powder and he's hitting this gentleman on the back of the head? Why were you allowing that in your house?
I didn't know my son was going to do that.
Hmm.
I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. You should not be allowing that. There is a reason. And while you were out, I told everybody this. There is a reason why you don't have children playing sports with adults, because they can get injured. You don't see Pop Warner football team playing college players. You know why? Because they can get injured. Your children need to behave as children behave, and you shouldn't bring anybody in your house who's going to roughhouse them and hurt them in that way. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
Are they, so in other words, he is getting
No, in other words,
Because I mean, I wanted
the
to drop
thing.
the charge, the
the
charges.
charges are not getting dropped. What
Mhm.
you should be concentrating on is, instead of what's happening to him, you need to start putting your children first, and you're not.
No, I do put my children.
No, you do
first.
not.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me ask you this. If you put your children first, why are you letting somebody with his history come live at your house?
He wasn't living at my house.
Mhm.
No, he
But you
wasn't.
knew him, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And
I
you
knew
told
him
the
and I met him
police
through
you
the mall.
barely knew him.
I met him
That's
through
what's
the
in the
mall.
police report.
Okay.
You're not putting your children first. And if you don't put your children first, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to have another CPS case, and you're going to have somebody else looking after your children, and who knows what will happen. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions from anybody else?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
All right, you're excused. Court is calling 2021 CR 8399W, State of Texas versus Edward Ramirez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Anton Hag for Mr. Ramirez.
Are you Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Edward Ramirez who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 8399W for the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced on September 17, 2021 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 4, on or about the first day of June 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Edward Ramirez, did then and there fail to conduct himself in a properly and orderly manner, and that he did not comply with the instructions of the supervision officer and court in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
No.
All right.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor, my client's aware of them. He's used it minimum very truthfully, wants to explain that to you.
All right. All right. Do you have any objection to the state's waivers of the other allegations, counsel? All right. Mr. Ramirez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
The court would find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
And no, Your Honor, we were going open to the court.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
State's requesting 1 year in the state jail facility.
All right, defense,
Sir, tell the judge how old you are.
you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear? That's okay.
Thanks for calling.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Only the word from this, ma'am.
Defense,
Okay, and what is your age, sir?
My age is 60 years old.
And do you live with your parents right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you disabled and unable to earn an income?
Yes,
And do you basically take care of your parents who obviously are older than you?
yes, I sure
Are,
do.
are they also infirmed or disabled?
They're disabled, especially my mom and my brother. Then nobody wants to take them to the doctor's appointments or nothing. I'm the only one that does it. My probation officer knows.
all right, can we get to the issue of the circumstances surrounding violation of condition number 4?
Which is why I left that day when I was here in the court. No. That was it.
No, I mean, the violation of condition number 4, you've pled true, and it is that you failed to conduct yourself in a proper and orderly manner. So what is that about?
What do you mean by improper?
Well, you tell me, what did you do?
Nothing, ma'am. I just came over here to the court date when I had it on the 1st of June. And then I had gone and ate breakfast that morning, so I had to run and spoke to the lady who's over there. And I asked if I can go to the restroom, and she said, no, you cannot leave the building. So then a guy came over and took my urinalysis, and then I asked her again if I can go, and she goes, just don't leave the building. But the only reason I left the building, man, was because I wasn't gonna come back into the courthouse full of poop on my pants and everything, because I did poop when I went to the restroom on myself, so I wasn't gonna come smelling the restroom like poop, right? So I called my probation officer and I told her that I had an accident here at the courthouse
And I wasn't planning on going and embarrassing myself inside the courthouse. And she says, well, I don't know what I can do for you. That was it, man. But I did call.
All right. Any questions for this witness?
There you go.
All right, probation.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation at probation and at this time is to extend his supervision by 18 months and amend for status followed by aftercare.
All right, and state, what are you requesting?
1 year in the state jail, Judge. The reason for that is because he's already shown that he would not listen to the court when directly told to stay for your analysis test.
I did stay for your analysis test. I did take your analysis here in the bathroom and check that out.
Your Honor, he did in fact submit his urinalysis on that day. It was positive for cocaine,
All right, and then he left.
and then he left.
I don't know how you're able to take care of your parents and you're doing drugs. That's not a good thing.
Man, I guarantee you, I did that because I had so much.
No, you cannot be taking drugs
I understand.
when you're on probation, and you cannot be taking drugs and taking care of your parents.
I understand that, but.
And I don't allow people to take care of their parents.
It was just that one time.
No, it's not just one time. And you know how I know it's not just one time?
I remember now, but that day, that time, the first time, it wasn't not my analysis that they had took. We could get to the point that I knew that I was clean at that time. I know.
Here's the thing. This is not the first time that you've used cocaine. The end.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. So how often have you been using?
Not that often. Man. I mean, I get anxiety attacks, and I get also, my nerves are too high. I get off, what you call it?
All right, you have a choice. I can sentence you to 10 months in the state jail facility, or either I can extend you, but you're going to still be in custody because you're going to be sent to SATA. And that's an inpatient drug treatment.
Can I just get at least a year of probation more extended, and then I can prove to you and I can show you that
The
I'm.
judge is not gonna put you on probation, just not gonna revoke you, be in a incarcerated program no matter what.
For how much is that?
How long are you requesting that he be extended?
18 months.
Your Honor. 18 months.
All right, I'll deny the motion, alternate main conditions, extend you for 18 months. And you're to go to SATA. And there, he is not allowed to live with his parents. And you're not allowed to provide care for your parents, because you cannot do that and you are using drugs. Is there anything else he needs? Probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and he's to remain in custody until transferred to SATA.
Yes, Your Honor. Maybe excuse me.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and put the date. Do whatever you say.
Cal Hardy. Who's the defense attorney on Cal Hardy? All right, what is happening with this case?
I believe we're here for discovery compliance today,
Yes.
Judge.
911 call?
Yes, ma'am. So that has been purged, but I did, there was a video that I don't think could be downloaded that I provided on this.
Okay.
So I believe we have the discovery acknowledgement signed, so I think we should be all set with discovery, Judge.
All right. And was an offer tendered today or no?
Yes, ma'am, there is an offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, if I can have a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date? All right, we'll be back on August 24th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand? All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.